So we got ourselves a brand new randomizer preset. This is Nimble Light. It is essentially the Nimble preset that lets you start with like Bat, Leapstone, Gravity Boots, and a bunch of the very powerful movement, all those powerful movement options alongside a Duplicator, Mana Prism, Buffalo Stars, all that stuff that lets you just like speed run through the game really fast. So I believe it was Swarm who came up with the idea, brought up the idea of essentially taking the Nimble preset and stripping it down a little bit, such that you still get all the movement options, but you don't have Duplicator and Buffalo Stars. Therefore, the items that you pick up actually matter a little bit more. Because when you played Nimble, there was like no reason to really do item checks outside of like finding a library card. But now we don't have a Duplicator, so we have to like play the game, but we still get the movement options. So yeah, the Red Richter is very cool. In Soviet Wallachia, Richter, Dracula kill you, Richter kill Belmont. I don't know. Something, you guys can fill in the joke. And of course, if you're watching on YouTube, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, join the live stream, twitch.tv/DragonBlitz, all that fun stuff. If you've been enjoying the randomizer playthroughs as of late, or the casual playthroughs as of late. Yeah, me and Swarm were talking about it on stream. Something like that. Ooh, eyeball. Let's grab it. So, the other thing is that wing smashes don't cost any magic at all, so we can just keep flying, which is nice. Which actually makes the movement not like strictly better, but kind of. Cross shuriken, nice, let's go. We're gonna do our death skip here. Ooh, messed that up. Yo, is that the Muramasa? Let's go. I mean, we don't need that, but I just want to do the item check real quick. Shield potion. Spirit orb, nothing there. All right, into the alchemy lab we go. Yeah, the cave's pretty nice. What items do we have currently? We have Jewel Knuckle, Fire Shield. We have the Fenor. Our items are still pretty decent, all things considered. A little bit of George R.R. Martin, Fire and Ice. If we ever meet up with Succubus, we could also get the other part of George R.R. Martin's vision, aka the... You know what I'm talking about. Of course, Echo. The milk. The other thing is I'm playing on the new version of BizHawk that like updated the way that the emulator handles analog to digital conversion, such that wing smashes feel way better. So I'm kind of gaming now. I feel like I've taken the training weights off. You have reverse library card? Well, wouldn't I need a normal library card in order to reverse library card? Nunchaku. You mean that it's on in this preset, got it. Those changes are in the fast core. So how do I answer your question? Holy Rod, I might pick that up. The changes aren't because of the fast core, but we are playing on the fast core version of BizHawk 2.10. I keep grabbing these like they matter. I mean, they might if I do. I'm kind of using spells for damage, so just because like my movement doesn't cost magic doesn't mean that the spells don't. That has a... Okay. I didn't know that that terrain zipped you like that. I've never done a wing smash in that exact spot before, I don't think. New tech discovered. More so that area being jank has been rediscovered. Or just discovered at all, who knows. Oops. Yeah, I was talking earlier on stream. Anytime I make a mistake now, it's not... It's my fault. It's a skill issue, not the way the emulator emulates the movement. Honestly, with movement like this, now... There's like actual... In my mind, playing on BizHawk is now not nearly as egregious as it once felt. If you wanted to speedrun SotN on BizHawk. Because before, I had a hard time recommending it just because of the way the emulator felt to use. But now it's a lot better. Yeah, essentially, the analog stick is now being emulated in a way that allows for diagonals to not get skipped as often. So that's very nice. I forget what the exact issue was, but somebody ended up figuring it out. Someone figured out exactly why analog stick movement felt so dog shit on BizHawk, and they figured it out and updated it. Well, yeah, I think it's actually worth doing item checks, since, like, Jewel Knuckle is good, don't get me wrong, but... Alucard mail. Opening up your P.O. box as Alucard. I use analog input for Wing Smash. It depends. That bat transformation was very much not intentional. Sometimes I use D-pad, sometimes I use analog stick. It just depends on what my hand is like closer to at any given moment. So for example, whenever I dive kick, I use the D-pad for that because it's more precise to guarantee the diagonal angle that I want. Come on, man. Oh, I have Fire Shield. There I am. So sometimes if I do like a double jump dive kick, my hand is already on the D-pad, so I'll use the D-pad for Wing Smash. But for chaining Wing Smashes over and over again, I prefer using the analog stick. That's mostly just due to the fact that I've played this game on 360 for like thousands and thousands of hours, and it's more comfortable to use the analog stick on the 360 version for the most part. But I will say, it feels very good to use with this update. Has a dogshit D-pad? It doesn't. You're just bad. I'm sorry to tell you this. I'm tired of the D-pad slander for the 360. It's not bad. You are just bad. I'm sorry. It's a perfectly fine D-pad. It's not the best. But people are acting like it's like Satan's asshole that they're putting their fingers onto. It has a much better D-pad. It actually doesn't. That's the fun part about it. Because the Xbox One D-pad is not much better, if at all. I'd argue it's possibly even worse. But again, I'm talking about from the perspective of using it for specifically speedrunning Symphony of the Night. Because, I mean, outside of that purpose, it's fine as well. Like, it's not that bad. The whole point of the 360 D-pad is such that you're able to do circular movements on the D-pad pretty easily. Like, you're able to do motion inputs on the D-pad very easily. And that's like the whole point of its design. Can we discuss third-party controllers here? I mean, you can. No one's stopping you. You're not going to go to fucking jail or whatever. But I don't know. I feel like the 360 D-pad slander is like... There are definitely controllers with way worse D-pads. I'd argue like the PS4 controller has a pretty shitty D-pad. Because it's like... not as fluid as the 360s, but like tries to display itself as if it's like a quote-unquote precision D-pad when it's really not. You know what I mean? Like, you know which controller, in my opinion, has the worst D-pad above and beyond that I've played and used? It's gotta be the Nintendo Switch Pro controller. It's so bad. It's, like, unbelievably terrible. Like, it doesn't do anything, really. What's the smallest button count to beat SotN? I don't know, man. You're asking the wrong guy. Because the answer to that question is not very interesting. It's probably like in the close to 100s. So that doesn't make for a very interesting, clickable YouTube video now, does it? It's not any fucking Mario 64 0 A presses. Probably 50 if you include Ace. In order to execute Ace, you have to do like a couple dozen inputs. So you're definitely going over 100 with Ace. In fact, you're probably going over multiple hundred with Ace. You might even be able to beat the game with less inputs. Without using Ace. Just doing any percent. Regardless, SotN is a video game that doesn't have like any sort of interesting way to answer that question, because it would just be play the game but hold down the buttons as long as possible every time you have to do an action to minimize the number of button inputs, which is like, in my mind, not a very interesting answer to the question, because that's how basically every game would answer its question of minimum number of button presses. Right? At least Mario, it's like, oh yeah, there's like a 4-hour-long tool-assisted demonstration to get 1 star while only pressing the A button half a time. Like, that in and of itself is like inherently interesting. Oh, nice wing smash. That was a little slow. Oh yeah, like this wing smash movement, I would not have been able to do that on the previous core. I was not having Mana Prism felt so far. I am finding myself wanting to use Mana Prisms every time I untransform. So I'm just like used to that style of movement. It's a little bit different, for sure. I think it's just glasses go to second castle, probably. Maulblong might be worth. Chrysogrim, I mean. Dragon Helm, sure. I don't think there's anything else possible that I would care to buy. Anything with iframes I can get. Karma coin for the fans, and no iframes. I guess the uncurse. Buy a couple of those.
Farewell for now.
Cool. Alrighty. Remind me before I finish the seed to give you guys the gamba. Yeah, the movement on this core is so good. On this update, I should say. Like, I'm able to wing smash as if I'm playing on 360 again. It's been years since I felt this comfortable moving. Genuinely. We need to go. Yeah, we have to go to second castle. That's everything. I don't know why the tracker... I guess it's because Nimble Light is just not... I don't have the preset file, so it thinks I can go everywhere. What up, Pingus? I'm doing all right. We're chilling. So we'll put this on, and we can double Chrysogrim, I think. Can you do boss skips with the wing smash? I don't know. Boss skips with the wing smash? Technically, yes. There's one boss that you can technically skip by using a wing smash, but it's not even like an actual boss skip, because that's not the part that skips the boss. It's a long, complicated story. Long story short, no. We need to do a lot of the second castle, probably. So I'm gonna do left side. Yeah, if you want to know more about like skipping bosses, the pacifist speedrun and the reverse boss order speedrun both showcase a lot of boss skips. What up, Zika? I'm still a believer that left side is worth doing in anytime you're in the second castle and you need to do a lot of the second castle. It's probably mathematically the better option, comparatively. I should probably also look for a library card. Oh, tried to squeeze the gap there. Nice. Yup. Yeah, like continuing that wing smash chain also would have been incredibly difficult on the previous version. Like I just accept that I can't do those like down wing smashes into like very quick change direction up wing smashes. Like that's just something that on the old version of the emulator was essentially impossible. Unless you use D-pad, which is incredibly uncomfortable for me. That's one of the reasons why I like use D-pad so often before. There aren't any checks inside of the library, right? It's not the extended stuff. What if I install the new biz hack and it turns out I'm not actually bad at wing smashing? If you've never wing smashed on 360, it might change your view on wing smashing altogether. Yeah, they definitely extended the diagonal range by a lot. I'm actually getting unintentional diagonals now, which is something that we didn't used to have, but it's fine. It might be slightly overcorrected, but again, I'd prefer that over not being able to wing smash like at all consistently. Yeah, like I feel like I'm moving a million times better than I have previously. Yeah. I was like, that's a tight angle to try and make it work, but not bad. I'm gonna do this first, I think. Yuck. I don't have like a super fast way of killing a Donkle gamer, so I touched the water. Hitting wing smash just seems easy. It's not too bad. It is probably the primary skill that you have to learn when it comes to speedrunning this game. That could be a library card. Am I playing Metroid Dread after this? I'm playing Metroid Dread later today, yeah. I've never played it before, and I've been meaning to find more excuses to do casual playthroughs on the stream. Especially of, like, important video games that I've missed out on, Metroid Dread being one of them. Yeah, I never played Dread. I never played... I'm trying to think if there's any other, like... I played Fusion a long time ago, like... Probably, like, close to 10 years ago at this point now. So I've completely forgotten everything about Fusion. So maybe we could do a Fusion playthrough as well. Zero Mission I've played parts of, but never beat. So, Hollow Knight. I did my Hollow Knight playthrough, like, a couple of years ago. And I don't feel like replaying it anytime soon. I've done even a randomizer playthrough of Hollow Knight, but that was really tough, genuinely. So. I spent $10 on it for you. Look. I don't think Yakuza 0 is going to fit into the stream time, unfortunately. I don't know how to tell you this, Daigon. I appreciate it. You're very kind. But I'm looking for games that the playthrough of won't take 30 hours. Because 30 hours split up over the course of, like... That's like 2 months worth of streams. That's assuming Yakuza 0 is only a 30-hour game. I assume it's closer to like 100. Based off of general perception / vibes. Yeah, that's too long. I'd be playing that for like the next year. If I actually wanted to do it, so. Yeah, Time Spinner 2 is, I hear is in the works and should be coming out relatively soon. Prince of Persia Lost Crown. Isn't that the Ubisoft game that, like, did the speedrun competition that was, like, messy and weird? But so left side had Jewel of Open, but not much else. We have our library card. We could use it now, but I kind of want to do more of the second castle such that we don't have to come back ever. Maybe I could have done a save split here. That would have been smart. I could speedrun it in like 25 hours? Hold on. Now you're talking. Whoa. Record of Lodoss War? Oh, we played Record of Lodoss War. I've also played a randomizer for that game as well. Team Ladybug made another Metroidvania that came out, but I haven't played it yet. It's like post-apocalyptic setting. There's lots of good games out there. For sure. And I'll get to them, maybe. I wouldn't want to speedrun it. So, 9 Souls. Again, like I said, there's lots of good video games out there. And I might get to them eventually. I'm very much the type of gamer who waits for a game to be out for, like, at least a few years before I eventually get to it. Because I'm so far behind, but that's fine. We'll get to it when we get to it, or we won't. Yeah, there is a Record of Lodoss War Metroidvania, and it's very good. In my opinion. Nice. Nothing, never mind, not nice. It's short, though. It is pretty short. It's like... Same with Time Spinner. Time Spinner was also a relatively short game. But, like... I prefer shorter Metroidvanias, because then you... Like, it's much harder to get lost. And if the experience of playing through the game is good enough, like... I don't know, I think it's worth it. I hear good things about Dead Cells. I've played Dead Cells. I think it's fine. It's one of those types of games that I would need to play a lot more of to feel like super comfortable with it, but I tried getting into Guacamelee. The start of the game felt very slow to me, though. It's a roguelike? Yeah. I mean, we don't have to limit ourselves to just Metroidvanias. Yeah, I played the DLC, the Castlevania DLC for Dead Cells. This was like when it first came out. I appreciate you guys giving me recommendations, but we'll get there when we get there. Yeah, Messenger is one that's been on my list for I've owned that game for a long time and I haven't played it yet. Been on my list for a long time. No, guys, don't you understand? Silksong, it got updated on Steam the other day to say that it's compatible with new NVIDIA GeForce graphics cards. That means it's coming out soon! It has to! That's how it works! You can't update the graphics card drivers unless it's coming out soon. It has to! I think I'm confident skipping Bees Nuts, actually. If this was like a race, I think the correct play is to skip Bees Nuts here. And probably go straight to Spike Breaker. No. No, because actually looking at the complexity, it doesn't matter. It's anything locked behind Jewel of Open is technically in logic. So we have to do everything in the cavern. Demon's Crest is on my radar for sure for playthroughs. Chrono Trigger is as well. Somebody messaged me about a plugin for, I forget which emulator, but a emulator that does like text-to-speech stuff. So my dumbass might be able to actually get through the game in an efficient manner without struggling to read for 10 billion years. Yeah, the number of dropped wing smashes has significantly decreased. It feels genuinely so good. There was I didn't really talk about it much, but there was a period of time where I basically stopped feeling great about speedrunning this game because of the way that the emulator felt. And now it's like significantly better. Side-scrolling beat-em-ups? Not really. I don't have like a big soft spot or anything for them. Burger? Yeah, I kind of just put up with the bad controls just because like I like Symphony of the Night so much, but it feels so much better now. What up, Cloudy is? Alright, don't need any of that. Yeah, so far, I feel like this seed, we got lucky with the double chrysograms being cheap in the shop. But at the very least, like, managing my library cards, because I'm still looking for library cards, at least helps keep the seed a little bit more interesting than it would be otherwise. Ooh. If I was counting complexity, I would know what this means. But it seems like the final Vlad Relic is probably just chilling behind Mist now. I'm gonna go to the Warp, just in case. Would I like more Nimble Light seeds for later with any specific options? I downloaded some from the races that were happening to add to the
talking to me. Oh god, it's fine.
Oh no, I never set up the fucking bridge break on this. Oh shit, we're losing. That's actually good to figure out now. I don't think I have a controller set up for player 2 yet on this new emulator. It is also funny that we found a duplicator though, because that's actually pretty hype. I don't remember the last time we found a duplicator in the randomizer. Is this the first time we found one in like genuinely? Do you guys remember the last time we found one? Claudius, thank you very much for the 2 months of Prime. I appreciate you. Why would you need a second player controller? To break the bridge. Smiley face. If you press triangle on player 2, it blows up the bridge without using the Donkey Kong skeleton. Yeah, I think we warp. Check Silver Ring, maybe with a save split if we can. Maybe we try Outer Wall first. I wish there was an easier way to save split this. But I feel like the time it takes to check this is probably fast enough that it's worth just doing it now. Most of them should have reverse library card, just so you know. Gotcha. Nice. Easy peasy. We're so gaming. Final Vlad? Ooh. So it's probably at Silver Ring. I mean, there is a world where Mist is a useless relic as well, and that we were supposed to find the other ring first, and then find the last Vlad relic at... what's it called? At Holy Glasses? That's actually very possible. First time I played SotN, I didn't use Donkey Kong Skeleton. I downloaded the emulator pre-configured and the guy just mapped. Yeah, that was actually a very common occurrence. On EPSXE, I believe, where it would sometimes map both player 1 and player 2 to the same controls. So for a long period of time, we thought that like EPSXE was just such a broken emulator that people backdashing would cause the bridge to just break randomly. Also, how did I do that? It wasn't until 2023, I want to say, until it was actually like discovered how exactly it worked. There we go. If I had Axe Armor, I could do the Axe Armor strat. Smiley face. Last Vlad. It's the ring, which should lead to the last Vlad, which is good for us. We do have... Not the Coliseum shortcut open. Okay. Yeah, because we skipped that. So we have to go through all Roxas quarters. Wee doo dee boop beep boop doop doop doo doo. Yeah, EPSXE is so bad that you just assume when something goes wrong, it's an EPSXE thing. Yeah, exactly. And then, to be fair, I hate EPSXE because people still use it today when it's like, you don't have to. If you used EPSXE in like 2010 10 or something like that, that's fine. You're not like a bad person for doing that. It's just the people that are like, well, it's the only emulator I know, so I'm going to keep using it, even though it's 2025. Yeah, if you used it until like 2016, that's fine. Other options did exist, but they weren't like super well known back then. Like BizHawk was a thing back then, but not everybody was on that train, which is again fine. Yeah, DuckStation is like, if you just want to play PlayStation games for yourself and not care about speedrunning or whatever, even some speedrunning communities allow DuckStation because they just don't care about it being faster than console. Just use DuckStation, it's fine. Yeah, DuckStation allows you to do internal upscaling and like it does a lot to make the games look better than they did originally. Especially 3D games. 3D games look very good on DuckStation. Is there DuckStation for Android? There might be. I don't use my phone for emulation, so I don't know. Son of a... I don't have any more. I guess I'm waiting 15 seconds, sure. Speedrun mode. This is what we have. Dude, I can't believe this was ever like... We did races with these settings, man. For money. There was tournaments held with people losing games because they waited for the fucking statue, man. And then not only that, there were people fighting tooth and nail when we were like, hey, we have the ability to remove that. They were like, no, my skill expression. You don't understand. Am I going to want to race after this? Probably not, to be honest. I like this shit, man. You can play it all you want. It's not in a tournament for money, man. But we have completely regressed as a society when it comes to determining what is or is not good for tournaments for this game anyway, so it doesn't matter. I'm excited for tomorrow. Tomorrow's gonna be fun. Speaking of karma coin, before we kill Dracula, we'll flip the coin. We technically have infinite coins too, but yeah, the seed felt pretty good. And the movement felt very, very good. Axe Armor Tournament? Now we're talking. We need some real skill expression. Oh, baby, these wing smashes. They're so good. Oops. I'm still bad at the game, though. Can't get rid of all of the bad. You forgot to Gamba! That's unfortunate. Yeah. Look, I don't claim to be the arbiter of all things. I'm not the grand wizard of the Symphony of the Night community. It's always heads, by the way. Everybody knew it was going to be heads. And that's very clear because nobody fucking listens to my ass. But I remain vindicated. People do tournaments for Forbidden Memories. That's fine. You know what you're signing up for, though. That's the thing. And also, the game itself is like the ethos of playing Forbidden Memories in the first place is ramming your face into the same enemy over and over again, hoping for good RNG. Like, I don't know how to describe that. Symphony of the Night wasn't like this. The community wasn't like addicted to gambling because the game is actually pretty antithesis. It's the antithesis of gambling. Like, speedruns of this game are insanely consistent for the most part. It wasn't until probably a few years ago where some RNG stuff actually started to matter, mostly with like sub 7 crate RNG and stuff like that. But before then, it's like the only thing limiting your end time was your skill, and that was it for the most part. So his own soul. I don't know. Gambling is fun, but 1626, I believe. Yeah. It was considered blasphemy to skip relics. Well, it was considered blasphemy to skip relics because in our minds it was bad. It was just the wrong play over the course of multiple races, but there was no world record on the line, by the way. This was just me playing for fun. Forgive me. Because the idea was, if you do the correct, quote-unquote, correct route, you will eliminate the most amount of randomness from this route, and that route was set in stone for a very long time. And then people realized, well, I'm worse at execution than this guy, so I'm just going to take a different route and hope that it works out. And as soon as that Pandora's box was opened, a few years later, this is where we're at now, where everything's a gamble. Fucking, I'm gonna skip a relic that I'm right next to because it'll save me 20 seconds, and it simply just won't be there. It's great time. Great time. And that's the thing. I love ranting about this shit. If we did tournaments under the guise of like, hey, it's random. We're basically like throwing a tournament for Mario Party. Like, there's skill involved for sure, but like the thing that's going to determine whether you win or not is going to be some random chance, right? That's fine. Very fine.
So you made it.
Usually, though, the top players finish higher. Yes, but that doesn't necessarily mean that the top players outplayed their opponent every single time. Maybe on average, their skill level is high enough that it gets them a chance to place higher on average, but it doesn't necessarily mean the person who wins that individual race did so by outplaying the opponent and not by getting lucky.
The only thing necessary for evil to triumph.
The same with Mario Party. There are people who are very good at Mario Party and can increase their odds of winning, but not into a degree of like guaranteeing that they're outplaying their opponent and winning because of that, which is fine. Again, this is perfectly fine and normal and okay, and I'm tired of people taking my words out of context. This is okay. If we all understand that this is what we are agreeing to compete with, that's fine. Not everybody's down to compete this way, but that's fine. There are certain people that have completely deluded themselves into thinking that this is the highest form of competition, when in reality, that's not. No, it's a party game. We are racing a party game at this point, and that's fine.
I see.
But it's a party game.
Everyone's waiting for us.
We're basically gambling on Mario Party, and again, that's fine. But some people really like to delude themselves into thinking that's not happening. Anyways, like, comment, subscribe for more ramblings. Join the live stream so you can watch me ramble live. And I'll see you in the next one. Bye-bye.